I corrected my boss publicly after he took credit for my work. I'd spent 3 months on that project. Late nights, missed dinners, weekends in the office while everyone else was living their lives. It was the biggest client pitch our company had ever done, and I built the entire presentation from scratch. The morning of the pitch, my boss Calvin called me into his office. He closed the door behind me and smiled. Great work on the slides. I'll take it from here. I blinked. What do you mean? He leaned back in his chair. I'm presenting to the board. You're not senior enough to be in that room, but I created everything. The strategy, the numbers, the projections, and I'll make sure to mention that. He gestured toward the door. That's all. I walked out feeling like I'd been punched, but I told myself it was fine. He'd give me credit. He said he would. The presentation was at 2 p.m. I wasn't invited, so I sat at my desk refreshing my email like a psycho. 3 hours later, the company-wide message came through. Huge congratulations to Calvin for landing our biggest client ever. His innovative strategy and tireless work have secured a $4.2 million contract. His strategy, his work, my name wasn't mentioned anywhere. I walked to Calvin's office. He was on the phone, laughing. When he saw me, he held up one finger. 1 minute. I waited 7. He finally hung up. What's up? The email. About the pitch. Great news, right? He was beaming. It said your strategy, your work. His smile didn't falter. Well, I did present it. That's the hard part. I built everything. You said you'd mention me. He shrugged. I thanked the team in general. That includes you. In general, he stood up and grabbed his jacket. Listen, this is how it works. You do the work. I take it to the people who matter. Someday you'll be in my position doing the same thing. He patted my shoulder. Good job though. Really. He walked out to celebrate with the executives. I went home that night and couldn't sleep. My girlfriend asked what was wrong, and I told her everything. She looked at me like I was insane. You have proof you did the work, right? I sat up. Every single draft, every email, every version with my name in the metadata. Then why are you lying here feeling sorry for yourself? The next morning, the CEO scheduled an all-hands meeting to celebrate the win. Calvin was going to present a recap of the pitch strategy to the whole company, show everyone how he did it. I brought my laptop. Calvin stood at the front of the room, clicking through my slides, explaining my ideas like they'd come to him in some moment of genius. The CEO was nodding along, impressed. Then Calvin said something that made my blood boil. The key insight came to me at 3 a.m. One night, I couldn't sleep, so I just started building. That was my story. I told him that exact thing when I handed him the final deck. I raised my hand. Calvin looked annoyed. Questions at the end. Please? This can't wait. The room went quiet. Calvin forced a smile. What is it? You said the insight came to you at 3 a.m. Which night was that? He blinked. I don't remember the exact date. I opened my laptop because according to the metadata on every single file, they were all created and edited by me. I turned my screen toward the CEO. Here's the original document. Created October 14th at 2:47 a.m. Author, me. Last modified by me. Every draft, every version. Calvin's face went white. I also have 47 emails between us where I sent you updates and you responded with, looks good and keep going. I pulled them up. Would you like me to read them out loud? The CEO stood up. That won't be necessary. Calvin, my office. Now. The room was dead silent as Calvin walked out. Nobody looked at him. The CEO turned to me before leaving. What's your name? I told him. He nodded once. I'll be in touch. Calvin was fired that afternoon. Apparently, this wasn't the first time he'd claimed someone else's work. 3 other employees came forward after my stunt. The CEO called me personally the next morning. He offered me Calvin's position. I said no. He asked why. Because I don't want to manage people. I want to build things. He was quiet for a moment. Then he offered me a 40% raise and my own project team. I start Monday. Last week, Calvin sent me a LinkedIn message asking if I'd be a reference for his job applications. I left him on red.